Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Velvet Lounge Life. And it's also sort of like a one meal a day modified edition as well. I am doing a working lunch again. Actually, this isn't a lunch, this is my meal for the entire day. In the background, you hear one of the podcasts that I listen to. It's on YouTube, but they do it in a podcast style. And that's where I think I might end up going one day. I'm not sure if I'll go in that direction or not. But first of all, let's talk about what you see on the plate. What you see is one of my favorite meals. Why? Because it's easy to make, but it looks as if you took more than the standard amount of time. Also, it's very fulfilling or satiating. And if you hear any little crying and moaning in the background, it's probably this little creature right here. Why? Because she enjoys this meal too. Of course, I don't let her have any, and she cannot have access to human food. That does not mean she doesn't want it. So I am in one of my work studios. I actually have two now, which is like ridiculous. And I really want to get back down to having one, but this one is pretty much dedicated to eBay. And I do other things in here when needed, especially because the other one that I'm trying to create, or kind of did create according to my daughter, is in one of the spare bedrooms that she uses. So she's like, I no longer have a room. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I should have thought about that a little bit more. But anyway, so what do I have on the plate? I have some roasted chicken. I made this more with just a variety of herbs that I like. It's sort of an Asian Mexican fusion, I guess, because I basically bathe the chicken in lime juice inside and out. I also use cilantro, garlic, onion, sage. I'm trying to think of the main things that I used. I used turmeric. I also used a little bit of cumin, which is so tasty. And I then, after the chicken was completely cooked, and of course a little bit of salt, I then used a little bit of sesame oil to just sprinkle over the chicken, and wow, it's really, really yummy. And also, yes, I have a jalapeno. I'm back into eating my hot peppers, which never really went away. Now, this to me is the most interesting thing on the plate. One of my favorites, it's roasted cauliflower. So what I do is I roast the cauliflower in the oven. I put the spices and the herbs that I like, I basically like roll it around in a bag, let it sit in this bag, in a bag in the refrigerator for about 5 or 6 hours. Of course, if you do it longer, I would say like 24 hours, that's totally fine. And then what I also do is I drizzle it with olive oil before I put it into the oven, and I actually hit it with a little bit of lemon juice because it just helps keep the color interesting and also adds a little bit of an acid to it. And of course, like I said, whatever herbs and spices you like, do that. Roast it, and this is going to be the part that most people can never wait for, but I roast it for at least 30 minutes. You want your fork to be able to go through it easily, but you don't want it to be mushy. You still want it to have a little bit of a bite, a little bit al dente. Then what I do is I take it out, lay it on a sheet, and let it just cool off. And I actually like eating mine at room temperature, or even after it's been refrigerated. It sort of concentrates the flavors more. And also it's a cool, different type of alternative salad, if you will. And yes, you can chop this up, add it to salads, or eat it as is. Eat it with a little bit of, I'm having a little bit of ranch dressing that I'll put on mine. and that will make me super happy. You can also eat this piping hot out of the oven if you desire. So it has a lot of usages, and especially if you have leftovers, then you actually have, you could do it hot initially, then you can do it as a refrigerated type of cold salad. After that, options, 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 but at the end of the day, flavor, 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 tasty, tasty, tasty. And I am having some sparkling water. Yes, 0 calories. It's just sparkling water. There's nothing special about it. But it does have a delicious flavor. I find that the flavor in this sparkling water is better than the one that begins with a P and the second word begins with an S. Theirs, the flavor isn't as intense, and also the carbonation doesn't seem to last as long. But this particular brand, I really enjoy. Like when I have it, I almost feel like I'm having a soda without the sugar, because I'm cool without the sugar. I'm not a big sugary person anyway. So if I get hungry later on, I have a Noosa backup, of course. And I do have some hazelnuts that I will probably roast. So first I have to get through this. This is my one meal a day. And what am I working on beside, watching some videos? And I will give a shout out to Scavenger Life. I am going to be working on listing more tokens. I have a ridiculous number of them, some vintage jewelry, some more of the tins that we have that are doing really well, even though I didn't put a lot of effort into listing those. I'm listing some more of those today, and a bunch of smalls. Like, I just want to bang out a ton of smalls. Plus, it is almost Valentine's Day, so if you have not started putting out those items that could be giftable for Valentine's Day, you might be behind the hammer a little bit, but hey, it's not that far behind. I always try to get mine out by the second week in January. So I'm ahead of the curve, as you guys know I usually am. But with working on this movie, Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa, and also Marissa Tomei is in the movie and she plays a villain. And it'll be on Netflix. I have, been a little behind because of that work. And I will be making I believe it's my 4th visit back to Pittsburgh to work on the movie again at the end of this week. And that should be fun. I will be going up. Last time Al was able to go up with me, which was really cool, to come back to the hotel suite and have someone there to talk to about it, whatever, because I'm not really a go out, hang out kind of person. So when they invited me, I was just sort of like, yeah, I have stuff to do. Plus, I drove all the way down from Connecticut. They would hear that and they'd be like, oh my God, you need to totally rest. We get it. We understand. This time I might hang out with them a little bit, not sure, but I'm hoping that the weather holds up. So far, the weather is sort of sketch, not just for the days that we'll be filming, but the days before and the days after. So there'll be like 8 or 9 days supposedly of questionable weather in Pittsburgh, but I'm watching the weather forecast. We'll see what happens. And this is actually what I'm going back up there for, is something they rescheduled. And so they might have to reschedule this again, which would be really weird, but it is what it is. Mother Nature rules. So thank you guys for tuning in for this quick update. And hopefully you guys are having an amazing beginning to your new year. Hello, it's only 5 days in. Don't tell me that you've already broken your resolutions. I don't make resolutions really, but my husband and I sort of loosely made a couple resolutions this year because he is going to be retiring. So technically those are not resolutions. They're just things that we need to do anyway. And they're not even like hard to do things. They're things that you would have to do if you were retiring. So it's kind of funny that we were like, yeah, let's make that our resolution. Ha ha ha. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Please remember to give me a thumbs up on this video. Help a sister out. I'm copying Connor JC because I love when he says that. Shout out to Connor JC. He's so awesome. And 80 Sunshine, shout out to you as well as everyone else that supports us on a regular basis. Without you guys, I would not continue to make videos. Probably, I don't know if that's true or not, because I'm not making them, you know, to become a giant YouTuber. Look at my subscription numbers. We are definitely nowhere near close. We have a tiny goal of trying to reach 2,225 subscribers. That would be the ultimate for us. And yeah, so, you know, we just like talking to you all, bringing you content. I love it when you guys like leave comments or ask questions or send me an email. Please, if you can though, leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. Because if YouTube ever decides to get rid of like tiny channels, I'm hoping that we're not one of them. But if we have engagement, I know that they're so wild about engagement more than anything, then there's less of a likelihood that we will ever go anywhere. So please give us that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share our videos on Facebook, on Instagram, super easy. Copy the link, paste the link, picture will automatically pop up, so there's not a lot for you to do. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Enjoy your day. Here in New England, it is actually sunny, very windy, but sunny, and I have to get the dog out for a walk. So be well. Remember that your health is your wealth, and without your health, you have nothing. Better show you a better view of something pretty. Yes, Token Day.